Many people are facing the same questions while dealing with the basics of the law of assumption. What is the law? In simplest terms, whatever your dominant thoughts are, become your reality. Here is an example. If you are driving and you think there is always traffic, and you think it every single day, then through repetition, that will become an assumption. And that assumption will be reflected back to you. How can I change an assumption? The same way you created your assumption in the first place, repetition. If, for example, every day for 5 years you tell yourself there is always traffic, then obviously that is going to become a very strong assumption. The way to change it is to ask yourself, what do I want to see? I want to see less traffic. Great. Your new assumption, the new sentence that you repeat to yourself is, the roads are always empty. That's it. That's simple. If it's that simple, then why don't I always see immediate results? The mind learns by repetition. We know this. It is a scientific fact. The way we learned our multiplication tables in school was by repeating them over and over and testing ourselves and our knowledge. It is the same thing here. If once a day for 5 years you repeated to yourself, there is always traffic, then you're going to have to repeat your new assumption of, the roads are always empty more than just once. Now, that's not to say that it's going to take 5 years to reverse that reality. All it takes is to be sure that now, in this moment, you are focusing on what your ideal is and repeat it over and over again. Once that new thought overrides the old one, then your world has to conform. But what about letting go? Letting go does not mean forgetting about what you want. All it means is letting go of that old assumption. If, for example, you're in the car and are telling yourself the roads are always empty, but then you get home and post about the awful traffic on Facebook, and then you tell your family about it, and then you start thinking about the person who cut you off, then you're not letting go. Letting go means releasing all of that crap, leaving it in the past, and focusing on how easy your drive was and on how empty the roads were and how quickly you got to where you needed to be. That is what a mental diet is. What does mental diet mean? All it means is making sure your thoughts are focused on what you want. I see a lot of people questioning their mental diet, how to do it if they're doing it right. This is how I personally became aware of my own mental conversations and how I changed my mental diet. Be aware of the time when your mind wanders. For me, it is normally when I'm doing something mundane, like washing the dishes or going on a walk. What is going on in your mind at these times? What are your daydreams about? When you imagine conversations with other people, what are you saying? All of these show you where your current thoughts are, and they are showing you what you are currently manifesting into your life. Commenting on it, telling your friends about it, getting upset about the past, all of these things are you focusing on the old story. As long as you focus on your old story, you are not manifesting the new one. Commenting on it and noticing it's not here and what you're doing wrong is just reaffirming the old and delaying the new. So how can I do a mental diet? List what you want. Less traffic. Excellent. Repeat over and over. The roads are always empty. Do it over and over and over again. That is all you need and all that is required. The repetition of this new thought will override the old thought and will naturally become your new assumption. Repeat until it becomes automatic for you and any opposing thought has just disappeared. This is what the Sabbath means. What about dropping the seed? Dropping the seed is also only a technique. It can help you to prevent overthinking. But in fact, you don't have to forget about your desire. You are even allowed to obsess about it, as long as you don't entertain the feeling of lack and doubt. But what about feeling is the secret? What does it mean? It doesn't mean emotions. It means feeling it as a normal part of your everyday life. Having $1 million in your bank account should feel as normal as having a pen on your desk. I know this is opposite of what a lot of people on here and on other LOA places have said, but this is the truth, emotions do not manifest. Thoughts are what manifests, and thoughts are also what creates your emotions. This is a scientific fact. Remember, billionaires, married couples, people with their dream jobs still feel sad. They still have off days. They still feel normal human emotions. The difference between them and people who do not have what they want is that they have the assumption in their mind that they have what they want. What about techniques? All techniques do the same thing. Help you focus on what you want. Their effectiveness depends on what you're thinking about in between you doing the techniques. If you visualize for 5 minutes in the morning but all day, you're questioning where your desire is, or if you're doing it right, or if this is real, then it's going to take a long time. If you visualize but your mental diet is on point, then it really should not take long for things to manifest. How long does it take? It takes as long as it takes for you to get committed and focus on what you want more than on what you don't want. You decide the time. I've manifested texts from SP in seconds, and I have manifested dates that take 3 weeks. It all depends on your mental diet. If you want something quick, then make sure your thoughts are focused, make sure you are repeating them often, and make sure you are truly focused on the realization of your outcome, and have unwavering faith that it is done. Remember, what you say goes. If you are saying you see no movement or it isn't working, then that's what's going to happen. Do not let any limitations from anyone on here or YouTube or your life get you down. If someone says to you, "Oh, you need to heal your inner child and do shadow work and buy my coaching and sage and forget about it before you can have what you want," remember, this is your birthright. You have always been manifesting, but unconsciously. Now you know, and remind yourself that it is easy and natural and simple, and you're doing it right because you are God and you decide.